It sucks right now, man. There's no college baseball games or no college sports at all, really, to be reacting to. But we got Wheels filling out his bracket for the 2024 college baseball tournament. If you see my video, it is on my channel now if you want to see my full predictions. But yeah, I won't spoil who I picked to win that one if you haven't watched the video. So yeah, I would just say that the winner I picked is on the screen right now, so, yeah, you got about, what, 4, 8, 12, 16, like, what, 20 teams to pick from? You got a 1 in 20 chance, man, let's see if you get it right, but, let's see who Wheels got, man.
Hey everyone, Wheels here with a special video for the upcoming
Wheels, you better pick LSU to go on a run, man, come on. Hold on, this is a way better bracket than what I did. Why didn't, I couldn't find one like this. Please don't tell me that you can just, like, oh, you're gonna be able to, like, click and, like, pick the winner. Oh my. Bro, I did mine the hardest way possible.
Picks for the D1 Baseball Bracket Challenge. For anyone else who's
D1 Baseball Bracket Challenge
created through the link on screen. It'll also be in a pinned comment as well as in the video description. Last I checked, there's already well over 100 people that joined the group. All right, let's get started.
Jeez Louise.
Huntsville Regional. Tennessee enters as the #1 overall national seed, and they're joined by Southern Miss, Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. You might remember Tennessee and Southern Miss faced off in last year's Super Regionals, which Tennessee won on the road in 3 games to advance to Omaha. In this regional, I think Tennessee goes 3-0 and wins it, with Southern Miss as the runner-up. Next is the East Carolina is the number 16 seed, with Wake Forest, VCU.
I didn't do runners-up.
I already saw this regional is sold out on just Wednesday. That's right, on Wednesday they've sold out the regional.
Wow.
Isn't that something? East Carolina fans love to pack the ballpark. However, being joined by Wake Forest is not an easy task. The Demon Deacons have great pitching and they hit a lot of home runs. For that reason, I think Wake Forest goes on the road and gets the job done in Greenville to advance to Super Regionals. I have Wake Forest winning the regional with East Carolina as the runner-up. Next, we have the Norman Regional, number 9 overall seed, Oklahoma. They did not get a top 8 national seed. It looked like they were going to for a little while. They lost the Big 12 championship game though to Oklahoma State, and they're just on the outside looking in. Another team thought they would host was Duke.
I got Duke in this one.
Championship game over Florida State, but they don't get into a hosting position. They have to travel to Norman for regionals. They're joined by UConn and Oral Roberts. This is a regional I think any of these 4 teams could win. Remember last year,
even Oral Roberts,
Stillwater Regional as the number 4 seed and won it. And not only that, they went to the Eugene Super Regional against Oregon and won that as well to advance to Omaha, where they ended up winning a game.
Shit. I didn't know all that. Wheels over here making me rethink my decision. I know Oral Roberts is an issue when it comes to postseason and, like, basketball, but man, they're a menace in baseball too? Damn.
However, right here, I think Oklahoma wins the regional with Duke as the runner-up.
I got Duke.
Next is the Tallahassee Regional.
You better not. Damn, that is loud. All I'm saying is, Wheels, you don't pick Bama to win this. You don't. What am I watching? Don't pick Bama to watch it, win this.
Alabama, UCF, and Stetson. You have 3 teams from the state of Florida, with Florida State's best friend from football, Alabama. Yeah, I know, that's a joke that probably won't go over too well. Fans can see this as a chance.
Gonna get canceled, bro. Careful.
Season where Alabama, of course,
you're gonna get canceled.
4 team going into the college football playoff, with Florida State just left out despite the undefeated record as they were ranked number 5. This is another one of those regionals where all 4 teams can make some noise. Remember, not too long ago, Stetson won a game against Florida State, and they'll be facing them in the opening round in this regional. I think we'll get a lot of fun matchups within this regional, with Florida State being the winner and Alabama the runner-up.
I'll take that.
We have the Fayetteville Regional. Arkansas comes in trying to avenge their regional loss.
Louisiana Tech's an issue.
Went in and won that Fayetteville Regional and then won the Super Regional as well to go to Omaha. The Razorbacks are joined by Louisiana Tech, Kansas State, and Southeast Missouri State. This is another loaded regional that all 4 teams have a chance to win in. It'll be interesting to see what Arkansas does with their pitching. Will they start Hagen Smith in Game 1 against SEMO, or save him for a potential 1-0 game against either Kansas State or Louisiana Tech?
Pitch him to win, man.
Will continue to dominate on the mound and get
you gotta win.
Enough timely hitting to win the regional, with Louisiana Tech as the runner-up.
That's what I had.
The Charlottesville Regional with Virginia, Mississippi State, St. John's, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Mississippi State comes in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They thought they should have hosted for regionals, but they were left as a 2 seed, having to travel on the road to Virginia. I see that 1-0 game being a fascinating one if it is Mississippi State against Virginia, because you'll probably see Jurangelo St. on the mound for Mississippi State. If they can win that game, I think they could win the regional, and that's my prediction right here. Give me Mississippi State moving on to Supers with Virginia as the runner-up.
I got Virginia and Mississippi State as a runner-up.
Baptist, West Virginia, and
Grand Canyon could do something here.
As a host after winning the Pac-12 regular season title and the Pac-12 conference championship. They were a team that was kind of on the bubble, so to speak, in terms of hosting teams, but by winning that conference championship, they secured their spot. In this regional, I think Arizona will win it with West Virginia as the runner-up.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I got DBU winning that one. With Arizona as a runner-up. I wouldn't be surprised if Grand Canyon won the freaking thing. Alright, Wheels. It's an easy choice, bro. Right there at the bottom. I don't care who you got as runner-up. I don't care. Care? Nice word, Luke. I don't care. But you pick LSU, man.
Regional with North Carolina, LSU, Wofford, and Long Island University. I'm really interested to see how that Wofford-LSU game goes on Friday, because I think that sets up the entire rest of the regional, depending on who wins that game and depending on which pitchers are used. LSU is hot right now. They were one of those 13 and 17 teams that went into Hoover kind of on the bubble, but secured their spot by making it all the way to the SEC championship game. They're looking really tough right now, with Jump probably pitching on Friday and then Holman on Saturday. So if you let this team start 2-0 in a regional, they're probably going to win it, especially with Thatcher Hurd potentially lined up for Game 3. He always shows up for postseason play. I could see Wofford giving LSU a lot of trouble in that first game, though. Maybe they don't win it, but they force LSU to use a lot of their top relievers, which puts the Tigers in a tougher spot for that 1-0 game against North Carolina. For that reason, I think the Tar Heels win the regional in 7.
Wales!
LSU as the runner-up. Now we have the Lexington...
Wales, you led me on, man! I thought you were gonna pick... Bro was hyping us up, and then just like, oh, UNC. I'm gonna go with old Unk. Like, what? Wheels, bro.
Number 2 overall national seed Kentucky.
Can't forgive it for that one, man.
State, Illinois,
Can't.
And Western Michigan to town. Kentucky earned a share of the SEC regular season title with Tennessee, and they're hoping that lines them up to make it to Omaha. Indiana State here is the 2 seed despite a top 10 RPI. They thought they were going to be a host team coming into this, but not only are they sent on the road, they're sent to the number 2 national seed. I think Kentucky wins this regional with Indiana State as the runner-up.
Yep,
we have the Corvallis
I agree.
Regional with Oregon State, UC Irvine, Nichols, and
Oregon State.
Oregon State potentially was in line for a top 8 national seed, but getting eliminated early in the Pac-12 tournament really hurt their chances and lowered their RPI, so they're now in a position where they may have to go on the road for super regionals. You also have UC Irvine, who is in a spot potentially to host throughout the season, but they end up coming in as a 2 seed. I think here Oregon State wins the regional with UC Irvine as the runner-up.
Yep.
Now we have the Raleigh regional with NC State, South Carolina, James Madison, and Bryant. South Carolina was one of those 5 SEC teams that was 13 and 17 in the regular season.
James Madison's who I got in this one.
Semifinals in Hoover really bolstered their resume, and with a very strong RPI, they earned themselves a 2 seed. NC State, on the other hand, may be one of the hottest teams in the country right now, earning their spot as the number 10 seed coming into the tournament. I think we may get 3 matchups between NC State and South Carolina, but NC State will be the team moving on, with South Carolina as the runner-up.
Oh, I have James Madison, man, just because they're... My whole reasoning was their athletic department all around is just really freaking good, man.
Regional with Georgia,
that's it.
UNCW,
that's my reason.
Georgia Tech and Army. Another potential
Georgia
rivalry matchup here with 3-seed Georgia Tech and the host Georgia. I think that's another one we may see 3 games of, with Georgia moving on to Super Regionals and Georgia Tech as the runner-up.
Oh,
Next
okay.
is the Clemson Regional with Clemson, Vanderbilt, Coastal Carolina, and High Point. This is the 3rd time since 2017 that Vanderbilt has been Clemson's regional, and they come having won the previous 2. The Vandy boys definitely have the deepest pitching staff out of these 4 teams, but their biggest question will be how the lineup does. They've been much better towards the end of the season leading into Hoover, but can they continue that into postseason play? With the way Cunningham and Thompson have been pitching lately, I think they go in with a really good chance to start off.
Wheels is a Vandy fan.
At that point, with Holton and Futrell behind them, this is going to be a really tough team to knock out. I have Vanderbilt going on the road, winning the regional at Clemson, with the Tigers as the runner.
Wheels, you sneaky little salamander.
Oklahoma State, Nebraska, Nebraska, Florida, and Niagara. I know Florida is a team that a lot of people are talking about. They were very much on that bubble at 13 and 18 overall in the SEC as they lost their first game in Hoover. But with an RPI inside the top 30, they earned that at-large bid, finishing the regular season just 28 and 27.
Don't pick Florida.
I know you can say a lot about this team, but they have the #1 strength of schedule, and with possibly the most talented player in the country, I'm happy that this team made it into the postseason. With that said, though, I think this is a very tough regional draw for them. Facing Nebraska in that first game is not going to be easy, and even if you win that, you have Oklahoma State potentially in the 1-0 game. I'm not sure if the Gators have enough pitching depth to win this one. I think Oklahoma State ends up winning the regional, with Nebraska as the runner-up. Now the
You know who I picked? I picked good old Niagara. Oh, I'm cooked on that one.
Santa Barbara regional with UC Santa Barbara, San Diego, Oregon, and Fresno State. This is one of those regionals where I could see any of the 4 teams winning it. I think Oregon does continue the trend, though, of a strong showing by the Pac-12 in regionals. So
you're picking Oregon.
Regional with UC Santa Barbara as the
Oof, okay.
The final regional is the College Station regional.
I could not pick this one for the life of me.
Texas and Grambling State.
I had such a hard time with this. I just spun the wheel.
Texas faced Texas A&M, like we just saw in the softball super regionals. I think we end up getting 3 matchups between those 2 teams, but unlike softball, Texas A&M comes out on top for this one. And now we move
I had Louisiana. That's what the wheel landed on.
Tennessee against Wake Forest. Chase Burns making his return to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. I think in this super, Tennessee will be the winner. Now we have the 9-8 Super Regional. Oklahoma visiting Florida State. This one's one that's going to go 3 games, but I think Florida State gets it done. Now we have a rematch from a regular season series. Arkansas,
Mississippi State.
Arkansas won 2 out of 3 in that series, but was down 6-0 in the rubber match before coming back to win against the Mississippi State bullpen. I think Arkansas gets the job done, moves on to the College World Series. Here we have Arizona against North Carolina. That one will be hosted by North Carolina.
Zona.
I think they win this Super Regional.
Man,
Kentucky against Oregon State, 2 against 15.
Oregon State.
Kentucky gets to host.
I do like Oregon State a lot.
To move on to the College World Series.
Really? Kentucky? I mean, it's not that far-fetched, but...
Hosted by Georgia as the 7 against the 10. I think they're just going to hit too many home runs for NC State to handle and win the Super Regional. Vanderbilt travels to Oklahoma State for the Stillwater Super Regional. They were down there in 2021 and took that series, but unfortunately for them, I think Oklahoma State wins this Super Regional. And the final one, 3-seed Oregon travels to College Station to face Texas A&M, and I think the Aggies win this Super Regional and move on to the College World Series.
Got A&M getting hot, huh?
College World Series. In bracket 1, we have Tennessee, Florida State, Arkansas, and North Carolina. The first round matchups will be Tennessee against Florida State and Arkansas against North Carolina. Really fun matchups here. Arkansas, North Carolina. That was a super regional matchup a couple of years ago. And I think here, Tennessee wins bracket 1 in Omaha, moves on to the championship series, and I think Arkansas is the runner-up. I think they win that first game against North Carolina with Hagen Smith pitching, end up making the bracket final, but losing to Tennessee. And now bracket 2 with 3
get him out of there.
SEC teams, Kentucky, Georgia, and Texas A&M, joined by Oklahoma State. First round matchup would be Kentucky against Georgia and Oklahoma State against Texas A&M. And I think here, Texas A&M wins the bracket.
An all-SEC final. Woo-hoo-hoo. The final 4 teams Wheels has are all SEC. That's wild.
Runs, but in this ballpark, you're not going to hit as many as you've hit throughout the season. I think Kentucky does reach the bracket final, but Texas A&M wins it to move on to the championship series. And now we have Tennessee against Texas A&M in the College World Series finals. Tennessee fans, you guys have gotten mad at me for picking against you recently. I picked against you when you played Vanderbilt. You won that series. I picked against you in the SEC tournament. I had you as the runner-up. You won that as well. So what do you want from me here? Do you want me to pick you? Do you want me to pick against you? Because that seems to be working. I don't know. But for me, I have to go by what I think is going to happen. Tennessee and Texas A&M, a lot of firepower on both sides. These are 2 teams that faced each
Gotta be
other
Tennessee.
in the elimination game in Hoover, which was a game won by Tennessee, as they won 4 straight elimination games to win the SEC tournament championship. And I think this year, the curse of the #1 overall team will be broken. Tennessee wins the College World Series for the first time in program history. So there you have it. My filled out for the
I mean, all I'm gonna say is me and Wheels have the same champion, so I feel validated in picking mine. Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have done this kind of bracket, man. I did mine so freaking difficult. I didn't have Omaha even in, I didn't have Omaha in mine. I just, you know, I had the 8 teams in Omaha, and I just picked a champion from there. So mine was a lot, you know, mine was not good, what I did. I wish I would have found this, but now I know for next year that this exists. D1 Baseball Bracket Challenge, got it. Yeah, Wheels, we share the champion. In Tennessee, I'm still kind of upset that you picked against LSU, but you know, it is what it is, man. Can't be too mad at you, I guess. Can't be too mad, but I'm kind of mad. No, not really, but I hope y'all enjoyed, man. If you did, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.